self-realization to God realization is ISIS. This is a journey from self-realization to God realization. What is ISIS? I am a soul. Soul is SIP. I am SIP. SIP is in all. Therefore, this formula of ISIS will take us to the principal statements of the Upanishads, the Mahavakyas of the Vedas and the Upanishads, and they will help us to get that spark of realization. If you are seeking the truth lies just in these four phrases that cumulatively can be called ISIS. You think you know who you are? The fact is, I am not I. You are not who you think you are. You look at the mirror and you think that's you. No, that's your body. That body came later. You came first. You were not born on the date that's on your birth certificate. The birth certificate is fake. You were not born on that date. Ask your mother, were you alive one day before kicking in her stomach before you came out? You were alive far before your birth date. We cut a cake, but we must awake that our birthday is fake. So when were you born? By now you're already thinking. You were born 9 months before when you were conceived. When you were conceived, was there a body? Were there these eyes and ears and nose? Did you have a brain and a heart and kidneys and lungs? No, there was nothing. It was just one cell we call the zygote. That zygote happens when two cells, a sperm and an egg, they fertilize. What causes this fertilization? What causes this fertilization is the soul. SOUL, spark of unique life. That soul, SOUL, is our real identity. It is the soul that gives life. Without the soul, there would be no fertilization. We think our mother and father gave us birth, brought us to earth. No. Of course they were involved in that act of copulation. But do they control our birth? Did our parents choose us or did we choose our parents? No. This is a divine logic. It is a magic of the law of karma. Because of karma we are born. And this goes on and on. But when we are born, when we are conceived, we are just one cell called the zygote. That zygote multiplies from 1 to 2, 2 to 4, 4 to 8, 8 to 16, till we become 25 billion cells. And a small baby is delivered on earth. So are we that body that was formed over 9 months? No. We are that soul, that spark of unique life that created that zygote and then multiplied it through its energy. When we are adults, we may be over 30 trillion cells. But today we are trying to realize, who am I? Am I the body? No, the body came later. One day this body will die and people will say he passed away. They are so sure we are not in the body and we are not the body that they cremate the body, they bury the body. So we must be absolutely sure we are not the body. The body came later, over 9 months in the mother's womb, and the body will return to dust. We are that spark of unique life, the soul that leaves the body at death. This is the most important truth of life that we must realize. This realization is called enlightenment. You overcome the ignorance, you realize the truth. The mind makes us caught in thought. And then We believe the myth we have grown up with. We believe we are the body. We believe we have the mind. Have you ever seen the mind? You can touch your nose, you can pull your ears, you can see the scan of your brain, the x-ray of your body. But have you ever seen the mind? Never. Because the mind doesn't exist. Where is the mind? You cannot find. It is just a bundle of thoughts that appears as the mind. When we realize I am not this body, I am not this mind, but I am, and who am I? I am that spark of unique life. A soul that arrives at conception, that departs at death, and there is no breath because there is no life. We are that life. We are that life power, that life energy. The first realization of ISIS, I am a soul. In the Upanishads, it's called Tat Twam Asi, thou art that. Neti, Neti, not the body, not the mind. This was a truth that was spoken about thousands of years ago in Sanatana Dharma, but people don't understand it. Because you can't understand it, you have to realize it. And you can only realize it when you open your real eyes. Otherwise, we'll be enveloped in ignorance, in thoughts of the mind, because the mind wants to make us blind. The mind doesn't want us to realize the truth that I am a soul. Because the moment we achieve this goal, we realize I am the soul, the mind is destroyed. There is no mind, there is no ego. The ME, the mind and ego, me, that normally makes us believe I am I, makes us do karma and makes us return to earth in a rebirth. Because when the body dies, the me returns. But when we realize I am a soul, then we achieve the goal of nirvana, moksha, mukti, salvation, liberation. How can we reach this realization of ISIS? The first step, I am a soul. And you realize I am a soul when you realize what I am not. When I realize I am not the body, I am not the mind, I am not the ego, but I am, right? I am. Who am I? I talk, I walk, I sing, I do so many things. But what is this I? I am that power of life. I am a soul. In ISIS, the second step of ISIS, I am a soul. Soul is SIP. What is SIP? SIP is supreme immortal power. SIP is energy. SIP is like electricity. You can't see electricity, but it makes the bulb glow, it makes the TV work, it makes the air conditioner blow, it makes the hair dryer cause the motor to run. The soul, SOUL, is a spark of unique life. The soul is SIP, supreme immortal power. Where does electricity come in your home? You say it comes from the switch. Yeah, but where does it come into the switch? From the main board. But where does it come from the main board? From the electric supply. But where does it come in electric supply? Oh, energy is everywhere. There is hydropower and wind power and solar power and thermal power, and there are fossil fuels. There are so many forms of energy, but energy cannot be created or destroyed. Science says that it can only be transformed from one form to another. Therefore, this energy, the soul energy, is the supreme immortal power. Just like a wave comes from the ocean and goes back to the ocean, the soul, it comes from SIP, goes back to SIP. I am a soul. The soul is SIP. The soul is not like the nose and the ears, it's not like a body. Some people think the soul will reincarnate. Never. The soul is SIP. The soul is a supreme immortal power. It is birthless and deathless, it is beginningless and endless. The soul is a divine power in you, in me, in every living creature on earth. The soul only gives life for us to settle our karma, to settle our deeds, good and bad. Therefore, the soul has a purpose. It is the divine power. It gives us birth because of our ignorance. Because we believe that we are this body and mind and ego, what happens is that we are reborn. Unless we are free from karma, unless we are liberated from karma, we will come back again and again and again and again. But if we realize I am a soul, the soul is Sip. The soul doesn't have to come back. The soul, in the moment of death, is liberated from the body. It unites with the Supreme Immortal Powers. What happens in the case of our ignorance? The same thing happens. The soul leaves in the moment of death. When there is no breath, the soul becomes one with Sip. But the only difference is that because I am ignorant, that I am the mind and ego, me, I return to earth in a rebirth, and the same Supreme Immortal Power, Sip, gives me life through another soul, another spark of unique life. Just like it is one electricity, but it gives separate power to the bulb and the TV, the computer. Sip is one. Souls are many sparks in you, in me, in the butterfly, in the bee, even in the tree. Anything alive, anything that is alive has a soul. And we are that soul. I am a soul. Soul is Sip. Therefore, if I am a soul, and the soul is Sip, that means I am Sip. I repeat it. If I am a soul and the soul is Sip, then I am Sip. It's just like saying I am a wave and the wave is the ocean. Therefore I am the ocean. I am a gold ring, but the gold ring is nothing but gold. Then I am gold. I am a soul. The soul is Sip. Therefore I am Sip. Oh, people get flabbergasted. I am Sip. I am the Supreme Immortal Power. That means I am God. Yes. Yes, you are God and I am God, and all manifestations of God. We appear as you and me. We appear as the butterfly and the tree. But in reality, every living creature is Sip. Every living creature is a manifestation of the divine. Because we think God is God. We believe the lies that God lives in the skies. No, there is no God in the sky. It's a lie. God is a power, a supreme, immortal power. There are so many religions and so many gods. Fine, all religions are good. They teach us to pray, they teach us to believe. Very good. But just like we go from the kindergarten of religion to a university, we must go to spirituality. We have to evolve. We remain in the kindergarten of religion all our life, and we believe this is my God and that is your God and my God is different from your God. No, God is not God. God is Sip, Supreme Immortal Power. That Supreme Immortal Power appears in you and me as the soul. That is why the scripture says, Ayam Atma Brahma. This soul is God. This soul is Sip. It says Aham Brahmasmi. Aham Brahmasmi means I am a manifestation of God. I am a manifestation of the Supreme, the Immortal Power. The scriptures also say, different scriptures say that the kingdom of God is within. That God lives in the temple of your heart. Different scriptures of different religions, they emphatically tell us this truth of ISIS. I am a soul. Soul is Sip. I am Sip. But we don't interpret it in the right way. Therefore we live and we die. We don't find out who am I. And then whether we are Mary or John, we are reborn. And this goes on and on. The goal is to realize we are the soul. The goal is to be free from all misery on earth and to be free from the cycle of rebirth. The goal is to realize ISIS, God realization through self-realization. How will you realize God? You can't find God. God is like the electricity. If you want to see God, it's very simple. Take a bulb, out of the holder and put your finger inside, and you will you will experience electricity. God is the heart that beats, the power of the heart. It is the power of SIP, the supreme immortal power, that I can talk, that you can listen. If I was dead and you were also dead on the bed, neither would you listen nor would I talk. We are that power that departs at death. That's why people say, he passed away. But we don't realize we are that divine soul, the spark of unique life. Today realize the truth of ISIS. I am a soul. Soul is SIP. Therefore I am SIP. SIP is in all. SIP is in every living creature. SIP is the soul that gives life. Those who go from self-realization to God realization, they go one step further. They realize SIP is not just the soul in every living creature. SIP is also every molecule of matter. Today, science has awarded the Nobel Prize in 2022 to 3 physicists for their work in quantum physics and quantum mechanics, which endorses what is known as the wave-particle duality. When scientists were trying to study the nature of the smallest particle of a cell, not the electron, neutron, proton, but the smallest particle called the quark, under a microscope, a sophisticated microscope, the quark disappeared. The scientists were flabbergasted. And as they were trying to record their observation, the experiment, the quark, the tiny particle, reappeared, and they coined it wave-particle duality. How a particle of matter can become a wave, and a wave can come back to a particle. And this is exactly what the law of thermodynamics says, that energy cannot be created or destroyed. It can only be transformed from one form to another. We are that energy. We are that power. Power of SIP, the supreme immortal power, is not just the soul in every animate being, it is also the molecule of matter that is in everything. But we don't realize. To realize the truth, all you need is ISIS. I am a soul, a spark of unique life. Soul is SIP, supreme immortal power. I am SIP. I am a manifestation of the supreme immortal power. SIP is in all. The supreme immortal power is everywhere, in everything. When we realize ISIS, we realize God. God is not God, God is SIP. I am not I am a manifestation of SIP. I am nothing but a spark of unique life that comes alive in the moment of conception to settle my karma, departs in the moment of death. There is no breath. Let us put it in our head that we cannot be enlightened after we are dead. Because as long as we have the spark of unique life, we have the ability to realize the truth of ISIS. We have coined it as ISIS so we can remember, I am the soul. Soul is SIP. I am SIP. SIP is in all. I am a soul. Soul is SIP. I am SIP. SIP is in all. I am a soul. Soul is SIP. I am SIP. SIP is in all. This is the ultimate truth. Everything in this world appears to be, but that's why they call it a cosmic illusion. Everything appears, but in reality, it is energy. It is like a theater when actors appear on the screen, but it is just a projection. Everything in this world is a projection of energy. It is mithya, it is maya, it is lila, a divine show. We are actors who come and go. Let us realize the truth of ISIS.